What is good, guys? It's Ronald, also known as Youcapper from sportsmemo.com. Welcome to another episode of Let's Cap. Got my guy again here, Chris B. Capping. Chris, man, we've been doing this live capping thing a few days this week, and we've been killing it. I think we've been doing a pretty good job as far as deciding which games to make official and which ones are leans and even touching on the WNBA a little bit, and we've been catching that as well as in the chalkboard, giving out free plays there as well. Those are hitting. So having a pretty good week so far. How's everything going for you?
Yeah, Ronald, I think you hit the nail on the head, man. The live capping is extremely fun. I hope it's something that I know we have the same vision as far as just being able to help people kind of cap. Baseball has been extremely volatile, Ronald. You can be on, have all the right trends, all the right data, and still end up losing plays. But you've stayed hot. I've been losing a little bit, probably a little bit more than you, but you've stayed hot, and I really, really enjoy the live capping. So I'm hoping that the audience gets something out of that. And then, like you always say at the end, whether they want to fade us or follow us, at least the data is there. We are pretty extensive in our research before giving out plays or before putting tickets in. So yeah, excited to do the show with you as always, my brother. Let's
Yes,
get into
sir.
it, Ronald.
Yeah, let's get into it. So our first game we're gonna touch on is the Nationals and Phillies here, and I'll just bring up my screen and we're gonna do this live capping thing again. Um, we have the Nationals at Phillies, -165 for the Phillies, totals at 9.5. Games at 105 Pacific Standard Time. Let's go straight to Spodevs here first. I always like to start with Spodevs and look at like the quick analysis that they provide here. Here you go. Nationals on the road, 16-23. Phillies at home, 23-21. We got Adon versus Falter. I think a lot of people are gonna know where we're going at with this if they looked into this game pretty deeply. The starters here, we're gonna look at the quick analysis. Adon is really the guy that we're focused on here. You can see his numbers 1-12 on the season. Last 3 games 0-3 on the road, 0-6, and day games 0-4. You can see the ERA here. He's in there for quite a bit too, almost 5 innings on average. On the other side, we got Falter here. He's doing pretty well recently as far as record-wise because he's getting some run support. You see the run support here, but his ERA isn't like super great, right? Like it's still a 6. And on the day game, he only has 1 game, 1.93 ERA on that day. If we look at the batting splits here, Nationals, they hit lefties on the road less than they hit righties. Phillies, they hit righties better than they do lefties at home. So that's a good way to look at it as well here. When it comes to the batting splits, if we look at bullpen on the road home splits as well, Nationals 5.76 ERA, in the Phillies 4.32 ERA. So a lot of things pointing in one direction, but one thing that I noticed, Chris, is that the line has been going the opposite way as far as it opening up as -180, right? And then now it's at -165. Looking at the chat real quick. Yeah, Mitch, man, the baseball fickle. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy lately. Finesse is in the house here. DJ Fitz, Phillies most hits -115. I've never seen that bet. I might need to look at my book to see if that's available because that makes a lot of sense. And then Youcapper gear is on the way. I sent out the tracking information for the shirts. I got one on right here. But yeah, back to the game here. Let's go back to Give Me the Dog. And this is where we get into the queries, Chris. Anything you want to look at first on this game?
Yeah, so Ronald, what I was looking at first, let me see if I still got it pulled up. What I was looking at, I actually got it pulled up on the other one. Give me 1 second. The biggest thing that jumped out to me, Ronald, was how Dawn does on the road as a dog. that kind of took the cake for me. But then also seeing that the Phillies get a lot of run support, like you said, by Falter when he's at home in his last 3 starts. Those were the things that I kind of looked at that made this one a really, really strong lean. I haven't played it yet, just for transparency, but that's what I'm looking at a lot. What do you see there, Ron?
So if we just bring up Adon real quick. So this is season 20 is this year. Starter equals Adon. He is 1-12 on the season straight up, and we saw that earlier in Spodevs. But one thing that we're looking at here is also the run line. He has not covered a single run line, whether they're the favorite or the dog, as well as a straight up first five. He has not covered a straight up money line on the first five, nor the run line on the first five. So that's pretty much like if we want to go, people talk about going back to the well. This is one of those things that it's almost where you kind of just want to continue the trend because of how strong it looks, right? First five, run support less than a run per game, and allowing 4 in the first five. That's pretty telling there. And then also on the final score here, averaging 1.69 and then allowing 6.54 on the full game. So even the bullpen's giving up a couple runs afterwards. And you mentioned how he does specifically on the road. The split on the full game is even larger there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way to look at it. I'm trying to figure out why the line is going the other way, in my opinion. So let's try to bring up what it would be on the other side with Falter. I think I was kind of stuck with fading Adon, but never really looking the other way. So if we look at Falter and see his numbers here, 3-1 straight up, 1-1-2 on the first five. 3.5 allowed in the first five. And when we were looking at Spodevs, it didn't seem like he was going the full 5 innings either. So that's going to be a little bit of the bullpen there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Full game 5.75 and 5 for the opponent. So let's look at how he does at home. 1-0 straight up, 1-0, and it seems like so he was a dog in that spot.
Mm-hmm. Got 3 runs, gave up 3.
Yep.
In the first 3.
So he does. It doesn't seem like he has that much info as far as like supporting Falter or fading Falter. It's kind of so. If we play this game, it really is just a fade on Adon.
Right, but also Ronald, let's look at I think one of the other things to take into consideration is how many runs the Nationals have been getting against lefties, and specifically on the road. I mean, you could do both. I always look at both.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. So we have the Nationals against starting lefties on the road. Run support 2.08 in the first 5, 3.75 full game. If we're looking at record wise, 3-9 straight up. On the run line, they're the dog, right? So let's add the dog here. 4-6-1 straight up on the first 5, 5-6 on the run line.
The 0 runs, 2 runs, 4 runs, 8 runs, 5 runs, 0 runs.
Yeah. So if we're looking at recent form, trend wise, it's going the direction that we want to, right? They're not scoring a lot of runs in that spot. Finesse dropping some plays here. He
said Philly first 5 mortgage payment alert. Okay, so Finesse on it.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I like this play a lot. The only thing that worries me is I'm trying to figure out why it's going in the other way. But sometimes, just like in the WNBA, the last couple of games that we gave out, the total was going down, and we took the over. So sometimes, the line could be going the other way, but you're on the right side. So this might be one of those things where we kind of just go back to fading Adon because he really hasn't proven anything to us to say that we shouldn't, right? I mean, does that make any sense to you, Chris?
That makes perfect sense to me, Ronald. Yeah. I mean, and for the people who know, like if you are in the chalkboard community, Ronald gave out the best the WNBA play last night, and he posted it, and he said that the line was going in the opposite direction. I'm not 100% sure why it went in that direction, but they crushed that line I think it was like over 25 points. So, that's just a sign to show that, sometimes the line can be moving in the wrong way. And as long as your research supports it and you feel, confident in your play, take it no matter what, no matter where the money is, no matter if the line's moving or not. So I would agree with that. What's up, Akbar? I see Akbar in the chat.
So I wanted to look at run support for Phillies at home against right-handed pitchers. Last few games here, 5, 4, 11, and 2. This was against Gray. Espino.
Josiah Gray, yeah, when they played against the Nationals. Yesterday. Yeah, that was yesterday.
So it almost seems pretty inconsistent because you see some 0s, 1s, and then you'll see like 4s, 10s, 7s. Yeah, obviously it's going to be based on who the pitcher is. So if we look at home favorites here, 3.21 on the first 5, 1.5. So to me, it seems like they're getting enough run support there in the first 5.
That they should be able to be winning by 1 run, right? That's like
at the very least for the first 5 run line. And you can get the first 5 run line on the Phillies here at minus 120.
Yeah, I saw that minus 130. You always get better lines than me, Ronald.
Yeah, I got minus 120 here, first 5. Yeah, so that to me that seems like a play to me. I think I'm gonna take that one. So that's our first game there. Did you want to add anything on that?
Nah, just real quick in the comments, Ronald, Mitch said Fulton giving up 4 home runs in the last 12 innings, got trouble backing them. So I hadn't looked into that. But also if you stay on the Spoders website, Ronald, you can see that last 5, the Nationals are not hitting lefties well at all. If you just go back to Spoders, I think it was something like 2.2 runs. Yeah, 2.2.
Yeah, that's the thing too.
Righties.
Yeah, Mitch. You know how you mentioned like the home runs allowed, right? So so we look at here, starter home runs allowed 1.33 in the last 3 outings average, and if you look at the bats here from the National side, they don't hit home runs, so I think it kind of balances out, if that makes sense. Right, and then looking at last few games here, 0.4 against lefties on the road, and then from a full season, 0.67. So it's not like they're really a power hitting team. So I feel like there's like a little bit of a balance there as far as him giving up home runs and Nationals not hitting home runs, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure, Ronald. You got some other questions in the chat too. Yeah. Oh, Finesse drop. You see Finesse drop. I think we missed this one. He said Washington last 131 at bats versus lefties on the road. They're batting 200. Yep, there you go. 267 on base percentage, 364 OPS with a 77 WRC plus. Mm-hmm. And then I think that's telling. And then Finesse also said Adon walks a lot of bad looks either. His walks are not a bad look either. 36 walks and 60 in his pitch. Philly walking nearly 10%. Okay, last 200 at bats versus righty. Okay.
Yeah, I could see that too. I could see this too, Mitch. But for me, most of the runs will probably come on the Philly side, just based on looking at how the Nationals are hitting against lefties.
The only thing with that, Mitch, is like, and I say this all the time too, when you take the over for the first 5, you're really relying on both teams to be able to get the runs versus one team being able to get the run. So if one team offense dries up or not hitting the ball well, which the Nationals haven't been, it could backfire on you. But you're right. Maybe Falter comes out and gives up a couple hits as well, a couple runs as well, and then you do get that over for the first 5.
Yeah. All right. Well, to me, I think the Phillies first 5 is a good play, especially if I can get it at minus 120. So definitely do your line shopping, guys. And do you want to drop anything official on that, or you want to just do you want to keep it as a lean for now?
No, I think I'm gonna play it official. Okay. I haven't played it yet. I like to be transparent with the audience. I haven't played it yet, but I think I will play that. That game doesn't start until I think 1:00 your time, 4:00 my time on the East Coast.
Yeah. So, Derek, we're gonna talk about another game real quick, and then we'll come back to this question here, Yankees. I think you asked a couple times now, but I want to come back and answer that later. Next game we're gonna look at. I think we're gonna look at the Giants and Padres here.
Mhm.
I think
Yep.
one thing that we wanted to focus on is the total in this one, specifically because it's such a low total. So let's bring this up on Spodevs first and get the details. Giants 20-19 on the road. Padres 21-18 at home. We have Logan Webb and Musgrove here, two very strong pitchers, which is why the total is so low at 6.5. They last pretty long, both averaging over 6 innings per game. From a starter perspective, here, Webb 1-2 in the last few games here, but it's mainly because of the run support. His ERA is only at 1.89, and they have 2 losses. So if we look down here, I believe one of the games was just a big blowout. So that's the reason why it looks like that. But from a road perspective, 3-4, still a pretty okay ERA, 3.77 here. Night games, evening games, 3-2, 2.2 ERA. On Musgrove, 1-2. So both of these guys are on the losing end in the last few games. 4.95 ERA for Musgrove in those games, 2.61 at home. In the evening, 6-3. So all his losses have been in the evening. So that's an interesting note there.
Yeah, I think it was to the Phillies, if I remember correctly. I think I had Padres first 5 last time, and he kind of got rocked. Wasn't getting any run support at all, Ronald, in that game. I want to say it was Padres and Phillies last time they played.
Yeah, and then we go to the batting splits here, and you can kind of see that both teams do hit at a lesser average against lefties in their specific spots. So Giants 221 average on the road against righties. Lesser than hitting against lefties, and same thing with the Padres, 214 versus 225. The run support here is interesting. They hit for power against righties at home, and as well as the Giants. So we should look at how the pitchers do against allowing home runs. And you see here, he's not Logan Webb is not allowing a lot of home runs at all throughout the whole season. Musgrove has been the last few games, but from a full season perspective, he's been doing a pretty good job of limiting that. So let's go to Give Me the Dog. And one thing that I wanted to look at initially was how the books look at these games where the total is like 7 or lower. Mm-hmm. So let's do that real quick. So the total is less than 7, and if I just keep it at less than 7, it would double all the records because. So I put an H there just to kind of split that out. So when the total is less than or equal to 7, the over under is 79, 64, and 15 to the over. And on the first 5, it's 80, 67, and 5 to the over. So there are probably a few pushes there. So I mean, it's not a huge percentage, but from a 55.2%, it is still trends towards the over here, just from a league-wide perspective. So let's go straight into the Giants here, and they're the road dog, right?
The Giants are. I think yes, the dog.
So the road dog, from a road dog perspective, you can kind of see they're not doing that great in those spots here. 2, 10, and 1. Mm-hmm. And then the first 5 run line as a dog, 3 and 10. First 5 is more towards the under here, and from a full game, 6, 6, and 1. Let's look to see how Logan Webb does in these spots. He's actually 0-2 so we were focusing on the total here, and might be a spot where we
I was about to say the same thing.
On the first 5.
Yep.
So the over under, so 2-0 to
no
the
run
under.
support, no run support either. Right? Yeah. Look at that! Wow.
So this is
who's those games to? That was the Scherber and the Mets and Fried and the Braves. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they played pretty
very
strong.
Low scoring games too.
Yeah. So it looks like when they play strong pitchings on the opposing team, they struggle obviously.
They struggle, yeah.
especially on the road.
And even though you see those runs that they did score, Ronald, both, I think he got one run. Well, he didn't even get that run support, but when the bullpen came in, probably they got one run, within 6, 7, 8, 9, 9th inning. So, damn. Okay.
Let's see how Webb is a lefty, right? Am I?
Webb is a lefty.
Yeah. So we look at Giants as road dogs against starting lefties. 1 run in the first 5, 1.33. So the under here.
Webb is he's a righty. He's a righty.
Oh, is he?
Righty.
Okay.
Yeah, they both righties. I just wanted to make sure. I thought so.
Okay. So there's that 1-8-1 straight up first 5, and then the 2-8 straight up full game.
Recently, what's that? 5? Oh, that's 1-5 overall. I think the last 6 games on it. When I was looking at what you just showed.
1-5. Yeah, so they got this one here against Strider. Oh, that was a big game. Let's look at. So now I want to shift focus to this first 5 here. Let's go look at the Padres. And they're the home favorite today.
14-12. They don't do well in that spot at all.
Yeah, they don't.
10-9.
So look at the last 4 games. They've lost in those spots.
It was Musgrove the starter in one of those games, Ronald? No, right? No. Okay.
Yeah, let's put Musgrove as a starter here. 1-0 and 1 on the straight up. Just 2 games.
They did score 3 runs in the first 5. He only gave up a half a run in 2 games.
So that means he gave up 1 run here, and the rest of the 3 runs came from the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take out this favorite spot and see. There you go, 2-0-1. So just another game. Right? Yeah. So he's not giving up runs at all in the first 5 in this spot at all.
Yeah.
Mr. Degenerate. Padres 5 straight home losses as favorites. I think that's exactly what we just saw.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Mr. Degenerate, none of those were with Musgrove on the mound. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. I mean, this is pretty strong in my opinion as far as what Musgrove is allowing. Looking at the bats here, I mean, Pirates and Rockies aren't too scary, but he did it against the Braves.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm so T-Mac. What's up, T-Mac? I see T-Mac in the chat. He said he was liking the full game under 7. Ronald, what based on what you just said, Ronald, I think because one of those games we saw the Padres bullpen give up 3 runs, that would probably scare me off just a tad bit with the total being so low, and we saw the total hitting at 55% when it's over. When it's set at 6.5 or 7 or under. Yeah,
I think right now my line is at 6.5. So if we look at, all right, so this is what I looked at for Padres total 7 or less. 10, 11 and 1. Sorry, 11, 10 and 1 to the under, 10, 11 and 1 to the over. So it's not a super strong trend, but let's see what it is with Musgrove, because I'm assuming he probably has a few of these games. 3-2 to the under. First 5, 3-1 to the under. Probably a push there at some point.
2 unders, 3 unders, 2 overs.
So this one went over by a run. This one went over by the hook. And then
but that was all them too. Like the Brewers didn't score.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, to me, it seems like a Giants team total under. I mean, how would you look at that?
No, I think that's what we saw around every situation that has Musgrove at home and being a favorite. He's not giving up runs at all. So Let's see what we can. I'm gonna look and see what I can find that total at really quickly.
It's just that full total. So the full total under.
They both sitting at 1.5 for the first 5, Ronald. You can get the Padres at over 1.5 at minus 115. And then if you want to take the Giants team total under for the first 5, you can get it at a minus 130, and it's 1.5.
Yeah. See, I'm just looking at Logan Webb here and the run support there. I don't think they'll get the same run support here in this spot.
Absolutely not. Yeah, I agree.
They are allowing a few runs there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what I guess.
He said we picked the. Mitch said you guys picked the tough one.
Yeah,
we definitely did. We definitely did, Mitch.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I'm thinking they both go deep, T-Mac. I'm thinking Logan Webb and Musgrove can go deep. San Francisco bullpen is the only scary part. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say under on the Giants side.
Total?
Yeah, on the Giants.
Would you take the full game, or would you take the first 5 rounds to avoid the bullpen?
I would. Let's look at what the bullpen looks like here. From the home road to Odess, pass it. The Giants bullpen there has been struggling on the road here last 5. Yeah. Both of these guys have been sucking.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I would probably focus in on the first 5 then, and say maybe the Giants team total under, but fuck, I don't know, because we were focusing on the total initially, then we started looking at the Padres.
The pivot's always good though, Ronald. They've been pretty good to us.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the Padres run line first 5, or even money line. What would the money line be here on the first 5?
That might be a good play, Ronald. The
minus 130.
Minus 130. I see minus 135.
Okay. I mean, minus 130 isn't bad for a money line.
That's not bad. I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll probably look into that. I'm not gonna make that one official, but after the show, I'm gonna look into that one a little bit more.
Yeah.
Padres first 5 money line.
Money line, yeah.
Minus 130. Okay. And then I think someone brought up the Yankees and the Dodgers, right? Money line.
Yeah, Yankees and Dodgers.
Let's just look at that real quick.
Dodgers with Gosling on the mound automatically makes me feel like
Dodgers. Yeah, I saw that one. Dodgers yeah.
I didn't even cap it.
Gosling's a savage.
And Garrett Cole. So that's probably why. Like the Dodgers, you got Garrett Cole and Gosling on the mound. Like it's hard to fade those guys.
Yeah, it's not even like he's trending in the right direction either as far as the most recent games.
Yep.
I'm assuming this is a large line. I'm
pretty sure
I threw it away.
Me too.
I'm pretty sure I passed it on the side just because of the line.
Yeah. It's well, actually, it's only a minus 180. The run line, Ronald, is hold on. No, I'm sorry, I'm tripping. That's for tomorrow. They got the games up posted for tomorrow already. This game is a minus 275, Ronald.
Yeah.
The run line. Let's cap the run line, Ronald. The run line's minus 1.5. Of course, it's up minus 125. We think the Dodgers can win by 2. That offense. I watched that game last night, and Mookie Betts got a game. He got a game winning single right up the middle. Hit the ball extremely hard. They had the bases loaded. Yeah. That wasn't even last night. It was early this morning. They got
this is game 1 of the series, right? This is game 1 of the series.
They got a walk-off win and swept the Rockies last night. So yeah, this is game 1.
Okay. I like to see how teams do in these spots here on game 1 of the series, more so than any other. And you can kind of see the Dodgers here 18-7 straight up, 12-12 for the Cubs. Okay. I just like to see how they shift from game to game, from team to team.
Right.
So they won 3 in a row. They covered 2 out of the last 3 run line from full game perspective. minus 275. Totals at 8.5. So if we just look at them from home favorite, 24, 9-6, first 5 straight up, 20-12. The run line isn't super strong, guys. 22-17. In my opinion, that isn't that strong.
What about
26-13.
What about the Cubs, Ronald? Mitch just put in the chat like the Cubs traveling. That is a good question because the Dodgers played last night and they played at home. And I know it's not something that we bring into consideration all the time, but what did the Cardinals play at last? Because they will be traveling. They played. I said the Cardinals. My fault. They played the Brewers and they were at home, so they're traveling from Chicago. No, they were away, so they're traveling from Milwaukee.
So Cubs at home in the previous game and then on the road now?
No. They were away. They were away last game, but they were in Milwaukee to play the Brewers. And they're traveling to LA to play the Dodgers.
This one says Cubs was on the road in the previous game, and today they're on the road, but yesterday's opponent is not the same as today's opponent. So there's that switch right there. So they're typically a dog in these spots, and they cover the plus 1.5.
They've done pretty well. Yeah, they've done well.
But and the line is at 230, so the plus 1.5 seems like it's right. There's a 5-1 to the under on the full game, and the total is at. Am I missing it? 8.5.
8.5, yeah. And who have they played against, Ronald? They played against Pilate, Servino. Okay, Zach Davies. Okay, those aren't even the greatest pitchers either.
Yeah, I think we're just focusing on Gonsolin, right? I mean, 7-0 straight up, 6-0-1 on the first 5. We look at the run line, 6-1, minus 1.5, the full game run line, and then also the unders here. So a lot of things are pointing towards Gonsolin and the under. So I want to see how the Cubs do. Man, I mean, if you just go off the bat, it's just Dodgers and Yankees. You just see their name and you can kind of look at that. Right, that was what we're looking at, Dodgers and Yankees.
Right. Yeah, we were just looking. I think he was just looking at money line.
Yeah, I would say I don't know what the price is on that parlay, but I mean, makes sense. The Yankees is the one that I have trouble with because they've been kind of gross lately.
Yeah, they won last night, Ronald. After I took them the day before on your show, and they got thrashed. And last night I think they won 5-0. So, yeah.
So the Yankees are road favorites today against, and they got Cole on the mound. Let's see how Cole has done.
Killing it.
Man, the chat is crazy. All right. Oh, shit. Sorry.
And the Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, 7-1 here, straight up for Garrett Cole, and then Gonsolin at 7-0. There's no way that I would say anything against them.
Right.
Yeah.
So that parlay is plus 125. I'm looking at right now, Ronald. The Yankees are minus 170 on the money line, and the Dodgers are a minus.
Yeah, I wouldn't
275.
I mean, I wouldn't fade that play at all.
Right. Yeah. So, right.
Mitch, Garrett Cole. Let's see that. Let's look at that. So let's look at starter Garrett Cole, and let's just look at historic. And O team equals Red Sox. And so historically, 3-5 straight up, 3-3 as a favorite on the run line, and then 0-2 as a dog. Shit, my think my headphones died. Whatever. First 5, allowing 3 runs in the first 5, run support 1.5. So from an average perspective on the runs here, it definitely looks like he gives up a good chunk of runs there. Last game was last year here with the Yankees.
Yeah, he played against the Nuvaldi and
So
lost
he's
2-6.
Yeah, 1-3 last year against the Red Sox in Boston. Let's just look at last year then. 1-3 straight up, 1-3 on the run line. I mean, yeah, he has been struggling. He struggled last year against the Red Sox in Boston.
No run support either. 2 runs per first 5, only 3.5 for the full game. It's a Yankees team that's supposed to be hitting every other ball out the park.
I think the Yankees' offense is a lot better this year than last year, though. So that's the problem. But yeah,
it is when they wanted it to be.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, well, I wouldn't go against that play, Derek. I know you brought up those 2 games, that parlay, so I wouldn't go against it for sure. So that's that part. I still have this banner up. You guys have any other questions or anything, or I'll probably move to one of the WNBA games if you guys don't have any other questions on MLB.
Derek said any MLB props, hits or home run props.
Yeah, I'm not big on those. Yeah, I'm not big on those. My guy KB is finesses, but for myself and Chris too, we don't do MLB props. We're at least that's not our focus.
Yeah, unless it's like something that jumps out at me. Like if I see a team striking out 10 times in the last 5 games, you know what I mean? And their K prop is like 4.5. I'm like, okay, let me do some digging and some research. But yeah, most of the time not.
Yeah. Jamrocks, I see you been hitting these NBA Summer League plays. You can drop them here. Definitely share your stuff. Telling y'all Phillies play. Yeah, hopefully we cash that first 5 right there. Covering WNBA. Yeah, I'm gonna do 1 game today. That's one that I'm gonna do. Ron Crawford, Cease K prop. That actually is one of the games that I was looking at. I think Cease is a dominant pitcher in this spot here. So that might be one way to look at it as well. Ron Crawford, his birthday was just a few days ago, so happy birthday to him. He's been a solid person to look to help me out on these MLB plays. And then Mitch Contreras for Pittsburgh today. Oh yeah, that was a good one. I
looked into that too. Yeah, I did look into that earlier.
Mets or Padres or tonight. I think I'm leaning towards the Padres first 5.
First 5 run line. Yeah. I mean, not money line. Yeah. I'm gonna look more into that too, Ronald. I'll text you.
Yeah. All right. So, well, that's the MLB. We broke down a couple games. I think officially Phillies first 5 run line there, and then a lean towards the Padres first 5 money line, and then we kind of looked at the Dodgers and the Yankees there. Someone mentioned that a parlay, money line parlay in there. I think that one's a good look. I haven't put money on it. I don't really like parlays in general, but I mean, I wouldn't go against that play at all. And then, so let's move into the WNBA real quick. I'm gonna give out one free play here, and I'm gonna break it down from a SDQL level as well. So for the game that I'm looking at is this Storm game against the Sparks here. We talked about the Storm game, the Storm on the road as favorites a couple of days ago. So we're pretty much going back to that specific trend here. So first is the Storm here as road favorites. And the road favorites against the LA Sparks here. They're going down to LA to visit them. They were on the road last game with the Fever, and they hit the over there. Same situation. They were road favorites, and they were less rested. Same situation here against the Dream. They were road favorites, and they were less rested, and both games went over. Here's one that did go under. That was in June there. One of the biggest pieces is the addition of a couple players to the roster. Tina Charles, Brianna January. So those two pieces help bolster the bench there. And to me, this is sort of just a look. Man, this chat guy, he's killing me. All right, so going back to 5-1 straight up, 3-3 against the spread, 5-1 to the over. My focus is towards the over here. You can see that the full game average are about 164.5, and the total here is a 161.5. I believe it's at 161 now, and it opened at 162. Another trend to this over is actually when they're less rested than their opponent, and they're averaging about 166, 167 full game here. So we still have a few points above the closing total. Same situation here, the last two games to the over. And then if we look at the Sparks, and they're the more rested team. 4-1 to the over, average about 170. And they're giving, look at this first half for the opponent. They're giving a lot of points up in that first half. So possibly a look towards the Storm first half there to take advantage of that, take advantage of that piece. Storm Sparks at home. So the one interesting thing to note is that this is the first situation at home on this spot. So that could be something to have to look into. Let's see how they do at home. 4-5 to the over, average still above the closing total. So to me, it still looks like a pretty solid play from a full game perspective.
Go under
Here, four straight unders. I mean, but if you look at these are all high totals. And I think, they actually all closed under if it was this 161.5 as well. So who they play? The Sky, Aces here, Liberty, and Mercury. Oh, that's interesting. So we might need to look into this a little bit further. This is probably what they're seeing as into why they want this game to go under, or the totals going down, if that makes sense.
What's the situation though, as far as you only typed at home, right, Ronald? Are they
yeah, they're the home dogs.
So
1-3, 2 straight under.
2 straight unders. Okay.
This went over. This went over, and then this one went under. So that's a high total, but it went under by a half if we use this as the closing total. Let's see. So we look at their lineup here. Sykes is out, Tolliver's out, Kennedy Carter is out. So they're missing a lot of their guards here. So they're focusing in on Canada Brown and Katie Lou Samuelson. She'll probably swing guard and forward. I mean, I feel like we just look at their advanced stats. Look at last 5 games. Storm has been picking up the pace a lot last 5 games, and the Sparks as well. Their defense is pretty solid, but if we're just looking at the pace, it seems like it should be an over pace. If we look at full game, all season long, and their defense. So Storm defense has been consistently solid throughout the whole season, and the Sparks 104 defensive rating full season. So it could be just who they've been playing recently as far as defensive wise. But the pace looks to be an over pace. Let's see if how the Sparks do at home. Sparks at home defensively full. Yeah, I would still probably look towards the over in this one. It's been good for us lately. So I think we just continue doing that Storm over for now. I know the trend for the Sparks here is to the under, 4 games straight to the under. But I think as far as a spot play, this specific situation, I feel like it should be the over. I mean, I already played it, so I can't take it back now.
Right. I'm interested to see, Ronald, if it continues to go down throughout the rest of the day, and if people can get an even lower line since it's already moving in that direction anyway.
Yeah, just going back to the chat real quick. This is my homie Ian. He's actually selling some pins, some dope ass like workout pins. So I might drop a link in the description. So if you guys like lapel pins, he does some workout stuff. So like like barbells and shit like that. Hey King, that's my guy here from SDQL chat, or the SDQL portion. Sparks averaging 78. So yeah, one side is going over, one side is going under. So that's where we're kind of looking at that. The Mercury, I think there's just a whole bunch of internal issues, T-Mac. A lot of internal issues. I think Diggin Smith, I don't think she wants to be there anymore. Tina Charles already left. So there's probably some internal stuff going on there. Storm first half and under for you. All right, Tease is in the building. I love Tease's take on WNBA. So Storm first half is definitely the look based off of what we just looked at on the trends. Full game under. I don't know, Tease. That's where we go opposite sides. There you go. All right. Yeah, Mercury locker room is a disaster. The internal issues there is a problem. But yeah, for me, the full game over is a play, and now that Tease is looking at that first half Storm, I might look into that a little bit more as well. But those are the looks here for the WNBA. Chris, anything to add? You want to go back to MLB or give out anything official or anything like that?
I want to. I mean, T said that the Mercury locker room is a disaster, and you backed them on that, Ronald. Do we have enough data to support to fade the Mercury?
Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's just go into that real quick. We look at Team Mercury, how they've been doing lately. They were on a little run here. They hit 3 wins in a row. They lost the last 2. Both unders here. Their offense is struggling in those spots. They even lost on a spot where they're playing against a team on no rest. And same situation today. Liberty played yesterday. I believe Liberty won, right? Did Liberty win yesterday? I can't remember now. Liberty beat Vegas yesterday. Like they smashed. Oh, that was the over that we had yesterday.
That was last night. Yeah, it's like 300 to 300.
Yeah, yeah. So they're playing another team that is actually, I think they're playing pretty well offensively. Even though they're getting a couple of days rest, they're playing against a team on no rest. It's really hard to really back a team that's struggling internally. You know what I mean? So that's that part. So let's look at them as home favorites.
4-2 straight up.
4-2 straight up, 3-3 against the spread. Let's see who they played. So they played the Storm. They beat them. So to me, this one is, I feel like you could throw this one away just because of who the Storm were at the beginning of the year. I feel like they're a lot different team than they are now. They lost 3 straight here against the Wings, Dream, Lynx. Fever, they beat the Fever twice in a row, and the Fever literally is the worst team in the league, so they should beat them. So if we look at this from a opponent standpoint and the record, I feel like this could be thrown away. This one is a little bit different just because the Storm is a totally different team now. These 3 here are the spots that they lost 3 in a row that could be very similar situation to the Liberty. So to me, I feel like they should be losing this one again. Let's look towards the Liberty here. And like I said, Liberty have been playing a lot better recently than they have in the beginning of the year. Same thing like the Storm. They kind of flipped the switch here in June. They picked up a couple good players. Liberty Road Dogs. So they lost to the Sparks as Road Dogs here. Other than that, they won 4 of the last 5 and covered 4 of the last 5. This is a big one here. They beat the Aces yesterday. Aces, one of the top teams in the league. So this possibly could be a letdown spot. That's another way to look at it as well. So I think there's just a few different ways to look at it, I guess. First five perspective, Liberty has been down in the first five.
First half?
Spot. Yeah. Oh, sorry, first half, yeah. Damn, I got baseball on my mind. Yeah, WNBA definitely needs more teams. That's why I call it WNBA like oh, that's a lot to write down, King. I can't even copy and paste. Hold on. Yeah, I can't even copy and paste that. I'm not gonna write all of that down. So sorry, AK. That's a lot to write down. Yeah, I say the WNBA is probably one of the more competitive leagues in the out there because of the number of teams there are and the number of professionals available to play in the league. If that makes sense, right? There's only 12 teams or
12,
or whatever,
set them up,
and you have hundreds and thousands of WNBA players trying to make it in the league. So, and you're only taking the best of the best, right? So every team has solid players. Obviously, some have more than others, and the coaching is a big part of it. But as far as being a competitive league, they're one of the top competitive leagues. And me and Tease talk about this all the time. It's not like the NBA where they get paid millions. They get their contract and they kind of settle down. Right? These ladies, they don't have fat contracts, and they got to make sure that they stay in the league to make their money. So they're always giving 100% every single game, and that's one thing that's different between WNBA and NBA. So that's that part. But I don't know if I'm gonna play anything on this one. Tease, he got the Liberty first quarter. Looks like a money line plus 149, plus 5.5 full game in the first half over. Those are Tease's plays there. I trust Tease a lot with the WNBA, so that you guys can take that with what you will. But I'm probably just gonna play that Storm game. I do like the Liberty full game initially, but just the possible letdown is what I might need to avoid there. And you just beat, just like in the NBA, right? You just after you beat one of the top teams in the league, the letdown spot, especially having no rest either, playing back to back, that's one spot that I like to avoid. That's it, guys. That is the end of the show. Chris, you have any cappers to cap lately? I know I got a schedule one with you.
Yeah, we got to get you on, Ronald. But yeah, I got another episode dropping tomorrow. Shout out to Wham, OG Wham.
Oh, Wham!
Yeah, Wham gonna
be on. Can't wait to see that one.
Yeah, Wham show is probably gonna premiere tomorrow. I'm gonna drop the trailer for it tonight. So yeah, and I got to get you on. I got a couple other guests that I really want to get the episodes out as well. So yeah, we still rocking and rolling with the with the behind the capper with your favorite capper, behind the curtain with your favorite capper episode. So yeah.
I gotta remember that title. I always say something about capping your capper or something. I gotta remember that title. Well, I appreciate that. I can't wait to see to see Wham's episode there. And also can't wait for myself to get on there because that's gonna be fun. I have a lot of stuff to say. we always chop it up every day, and it's our conversations are amazing in my opinion. I just love talking sports, talking betting, and all these different things other than sports as well that we talk about. Just life philosophies and shit like that. So that's just always fun. But yeah, that's the end of the show, guys. Thanks to all who tune in on YouTube and on Twitter. If you are on YouTube, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button before you bounce. Make sure you check out the links in the description as well. Chris's Twitter is down there. You can go directly to his Twitter account and just follow him. Make sure you check out his podcast, his channel. I'll next show I'll probably put the link to your channel as well, so you guys can get there because he does that cappers to cap show. So
behind the curtain with your favorite capper. Right?
There you go. But yeah, as always, guys, I had to end with this. Please remember, whether you fade us or follow us, it's on you to make that call. Good luck on all your actions. Till next time, peace.